From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'll have more information on an overnight homicide investigation in Clyde Park coming up.
And a politician from Phillipsburg announces a run for Congress in the Eastern District. Find out how he'll do that even though he lives outside that new congressional district. Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Montana. It's now 6:31. Chad Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. Beautiful morning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
not
nice.
a lot of wind.
I mean,
temperatures above where we would typically
Right.
see daytime highs this time of
it's
year.
nice
So
out.
it is. And we do have some snow in the forecast, especially for areas west of the Divide. We could see a few flakes here and there for other areas. Not something that's going to be a game changer for us, though.
Good.
30s in Butte and Bozeman, 35 in Bozeman right now, 22 according to our weather watcher Ken in West Yellowstone. Basic trend fairly dry. We do have a chance of some isolated snowflakes trying to move through parts of the area for today. Shouldn't really be an accumulating snow overall. Daytime highs back into the 40s. We've got a couple of pleasant days and then some big changes moving in early next week. We're going to break it all down from the weather patio in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:32, our top story this half hour. The town of Clyde Park, the scene of a homicide investigation. It adds to the list of deaths at the hand of another that have happened in Montana just 6 weeks into the new year. TN's Edgar Cedillo talked to the Park County Sheriff about how law enforcement got some help taking that suspect into custody.
Like this morning felt a little off, you know? I don't know if you've experienced days like that where something just feels off.
That's when Cassie noticed police activity as she walked her kids to school, as Park County Sheriff's deputies investigated an early morning homicide in Clyde Park.
4:50 this morning, the Sheriff's Office received a call of a disturbance. The caller stated that a male individual had been shot and the suspect had fled the scene.
According to Sheriff Bickler, when deputies arrived, they performed life-saving measures but were unable to resuscitate the victim.
Subject appeared to have expired from what appeared to be a gunshot wound.
The homicide investigation in Clyde Park marks an already deadly start to the year in Montana. Only a week into February, and the state has already seen 3 deaths, including another teen shot to death in Billings and a homicide in Sydney last week. January saw 7 shooting incidents across the state, which resulted in 10 people dying. Bickler says a member of the community was able to help tip law enforcement on the location of the suspect. The suspect was taken into custody.
Whenever the community comes alongside law enforcement to help us with this, it brings things to a rapid close.
Cassie says that with a close community, it gives her peace of mind.
With a tight-knit community, things like this do get handled pretty quick, or we look out for each other a bit.
But she's still shocked by what happened in her own backyard.
You figure that with a small town like this in Montana, that the worst you have to worry about is cougars.
Right now, the homicide is still under investigation. Suspect is set to appear in court. In Clyde Park, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
In other Treasure State headlines this morning, a Glendive teen missing for over a week has been found safe. Glendive Police Department said on Facebook that after working around the clock, Kaysen Hall has been found. Nearly 30 local businesses and emergency service agencies, including the Montana Department of Justice Gambling Division and the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife and Parks, assisted in the search to bring Kaysen home. Police Department released no other details about where he was located or why he was missing in the first place. Closer to home, a New York man was killed in a snowmobile crash yesterday. Anthony Pace struck a tree on Buck Ridge Trail in Big Sky, went into cardiac arrest. Gallatin County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Forest Service are investigating that crash. 6:34 now. Workers have faced a lot of uncertainty over the last 2 years, and in healthcare fields, that's never been more pronounced than now. Biden administration's mandate that every worker in the field get vaccinated is putting nurses and others in precarious positions of choosing between their livelihood, their passion, and their body. Dan Grossman looks at the ramifications.
Ask most nurses what it is that drove them to their profession.
Bonding, that mother-child relationship was important to me.
And you'll likely hear something along the lines of what Jean Marie Naser has to say. She's wanted to do this since high school, when she cared for her bedridden mother. Years of autoimmune disorders led to a helplessness only Jean Marie could relieve until her mother died when she was 16. The calling wasn't something Jean Marie could shake or ignore. It was something she simply had to follow.
While I was in college, I didn't originally go in for nursing. And there was this moment where I was at the gym overlooking the pool, and there was a handicapped person being helped into the pool, and it hit me right then that what I was really missing in my life was helping people.
Personal reasons led Jean Marie to leave her vocation in recent years, but bureaucratic reasons now bar her from ever returning until she decides to vaccinate herself.
I think it was disheartening to hear many people, including some Supreme Court justices, discussing the fact that they feel that healthcare workers have no right to their own bodily autonomy.
Nationally, 81% of nurses and other healthcare workers are vaccinated, but President Biden's recent decree that staff in healthcare settings must all be vaccinated unless exempted is putting others, like Jean Marie, in further uncertainty.
This mandate imposes on top of an already historic workforce crisis that we're experiencing.
It is also putting their employers in similar positions as well. Kristen Knapp is with the Florida Healthcare Association. The massive staffing shortage in hospitals and nursing homes is well documented, but this mandate could further complicate a system that is already pinched, particularly in states where vaccination levels among staff are below 70%, like Montana, Ohio, and Missouri. For every infraction to the vaccine mandate, a healthcare setting risks its Medicare and Medicaid funding.
It's a challenging. I've been in this, I've been working in long-term care for almost 14 years, and I've never seen the workforce shortage and the workforce challenges like we're experiencing right now.
To relieve the stress on the system, some nursing homes are limiting admissions. In other cases, they're paying exorbitant prices to cover missing shifts. In some states, help is reaching nurses too. Since vaccination status is considered a controllable circumstance, most states won't offer unemployment to those who are let go because they refuse to get it. But 5 states have passed legislation that state otherwise, including Jean Marie's home state of Florida. The benefits, however, don't erase the subtext.
The real reason why I went into healthcare was to help people. And this ruling is basically saying, if you don't take this medical intervention, you can't help people.
To some, the idea of getting vaccinated to keep a job might be a no-brainer, but to others, not doing so is as core to their being as to why they chose this calling in the first place. I'm Dan Grossman.
6:38 now, back here in the Treasure State. Another Democrat has entered the 2022 race to challenge Republican Congressman Matt Rosendale in Montana's new Eastern District. Now he's a state senator from Phillipsburg. While Mark Sweeney launched his campaign yesterday for Congressional District 2, which covers central and eastern Montana, he doesn't currently live in that district. That doesn't bar him from running in it. And Sweeney told MTN News his residency shouldn't be a problem for District 2 voters. Former fish hatchery manager grew up in Miles City. Says he spent more than half his life living and working in central and eastern Montana and has deep connections with the people and interests of that region. Sweeney is the 4th Democrat to enter the eastern Montana congressional race, where Republican Rosendale is heavily favored. Sweeney released a 3-minute video to help launch his campaign, criticized Rosendale for emphasizing what Sweeney called hot-button emotional issues, like immigration or excusing those who attacked the Capitol last January.
These are just issues that aren't real for Montana. Let's talk about, things that are going to improve our economy from, rural communities to agriculture and energy, things that are going to improve our economy here in Montana and affect employment and bottom line of businesses.
Now, the Eastern Congressional District includes the cities of Billings, Helena, and Great Falls, and all or part of 42 counties. All right, time for a quick break here on Montana This Morning. Here's